Well, if you're reading the Daily Record this morning, if you're north of the border, this is what you'll see on the front page and on the side as well. Don't panic, don't panic. Alex Salmon saying it's a good idea to take the bus, but don't panic over fuel prices, and for goodness sake, don't hoard fuel. So with the looming strike action at the Grainmouth refinery in Scotland, there are fears that some garages might take the opportunity to push up prices. But apparently there are lots of things that we can all do to ensure that our cars run more efficiently and so use less fuel. Well, Andrew Castle is down at GMTV Research. Oh, my goodness. To tell us a little bit more. Morning, Andrew.
Good morning. I fancy myself as Jeremy Clarkson this morning. Always a good time to learn how you can get best use out of your car. Winding the window up when you're going along at speed is one of the things that we're going to hear about from Louise Doherty. She's from petrolprices.com. Louise, come on in here. Good morning to you. Tell us the common sort of mistakes we make when we're trying to sort of drive a car efficiently and we don't. We make some common mistakes, don't we? What are they?
It's all simple advice that we've had before, but I mean, with petrol prices going up so much, it's more important than ever. The first one obviously would be don't accelerate too fast and don't brake too harshly. If you keep a constant speed, you're likely to get the best out of your tank.
So drive like a woman driver. Drive sensibly.
Drive sensibly.
And so the right gear for the right speed.
Yeah, the right gear will help as well.
And how often should we check tyre pressures? Is that
you should definitely check that, as often as possible, because obviously if your tyres are inflated more, the car will go more smoothly along the road. So that'll help you get more out of your tank as well.
Once a week?
I'd say once a week is probably about right. Yeah.
Okay. And this does affect things, doesn't it? Having the window down.
It does. If you put your window up, you're more aerodynamic, so you'll go faster. It's actually 25%, which is quite a lot.
Yeah, OK. And the other thing is, as we come around a bit, we should just make the point here, this car doesn't have a roof rack. Roof racks, Louise, are no good, are they?
Roof racks are bad. You definitely want to take your roof rack off. OK,
so take the roof rack off. And I actually had no... Oh, good. I'm glad that the boot opener was there. Clearing the car of junk. That's smart, isn't it?
It is, yeah. So when you've got things that you don't need in the car, I mean, obviously, you might need the pram day to day, but if you don't, take it out because it's extra weight, so it's just the car's got more to carry, so you'll use more fuel. So taking it out and you'll reduce your fuel consumption. OK, so just reduce the weight of the vehicle. Also, a lot of cars these days have air conditioning. Is that a myth, or does that actually add to the petrol consumption? It does, yeah. I mean, it's not as much as something like taking, unnecessary things out of the car, but it will use your fuel more than other things. So, yeah, definitely, turn your aircon off if you don't need it. Wind the window down.
And also, Louise, how do we find out where to get the cheapest fuel in the first place? Because our average prices are high at the moment, aren't they?
It is. The average we've had, I think it's 12 days straight of record prices, so they've broken the price of the day before. So, really, you need to shop around. That's what our site does. It's a free comparison site. So you just enter your postcode, petrolprices.com, and it'll tell you where the cheapest is in your area.
Well, I suppose if we have to drive 5 miles more to get to the petrol station, which is cheaper, it may not work out there.
It may not, but we're working on it. We've got a route planner with petrol stations along the way, so you can see where to fill up. So
are we going to see, on a regular basis, £1.50 a litre?
We actually, obviously, we monitor prices very closely, and we said earlier on in the year that we thought that we'd hit £1.50 a litre for unleaded by the end of the year, and everyone was, really shocked. But I mean, with the oil price rises we've had, it's not unlikely at all. We've actually now brought that forward to September. So September, I would say, some parts of the country will hit £1.50 a litre. And
there shouldn't be panic buying, should there, about this Grainmouth strike and everything else?
The government have reassured everyone that they've got more than enough fuel to, to cope with any shortages. So, the best thing that motorists can do is not panic buy, because that will create shortages that might not have been there otherwise. So anything that disrupts the normal fuel cycle will make things worse. So definitely don't panic buy.
Self-perpetuating, isn't it? The whole thing just becomes too mad. Louise Doherty from petrolprices.com. Thank you very much indeed. There you go. I'm sure there's some advice on the website as well about how to get hold of cheap fuel and how to drive your car more efficiently. Kate.
Very good indeed. Excellent. Slightly daunted by the idea of taking junk out your car. That could be a whole week.